Hello and welcome to this video, where we'll be looking at how to take down Guard Armor. Guard Armor is the first boss in the game, and therefore this video might be pretty redundant for most, but I'm making it anyways, so I at some point can say that I've made a boss guide for every boss in Chain of Memories. This guide was made playing on Proud, so some of the numbers might change with an easier difficulty. For this fight you should preferably be around level 5 to 7. Guard Armor is indifferent to physical attacks and strong against fire, blizzard, thunder and neutral attacks, which means the damage is half. Because of this, I wouldn't recommend spending CP on blizzard. Donald's attacks are of course halved, but it's still worth it to use him, as you get an extra card you can use to make a slide. This boss consists of 5 body parts, 2 heads, 2 feet and 1 torso. The floating head doesn't count. The boss has 2 stages. In the first one you can only attack the hands and feet, and when those are destroyed you get to the final stage, where the torso can be attacked. Guard Armor has 6 moves, 4 in the first stage and 2 in the last stage. Let's go through all of the attacks and see how they can be dodged. The first attack is a kind of body slam, where it jumps up into the air and slams down on you to deal 12 HP damage. Before he does this attack, he rotates the hands and lifts his feet. If you look at his jumping arc, you can see that he kind of floats at the top for a bit before falling down. Circling him and dodging right after he stops floating will make sure that you don't get hit. In the second attack, Guard Armor jumps up and down a couple of seconds before his feet stomps after you, dealing 7 HP damage. If you stand too close when he jumps up and down, you can get hit, and this deals 5 HP damage. To avoid getting hit, you simply dodge like a maniac until the feet get tired of chasing you. Guard Armor's third attack is where he swings his hands around him while he walks towards you. This attack does 7 HP damage every time you get hit. The cue for this attack is that he slowly rotates his hands and torso. It's extremely easy to avoid this attack, just keep your distance. The final attack that he has in his first stage is a move where he boxes down into the ground. He draws back his right hand before boxing, and if you get hit, you lose 7 HP. Again, this attack can be avoided by keeping your distance. While saying that, it can be pretty hard to avoid this attack, as when he breaks one of your cards, sometimes he does this attack. That was it for the attacks of the first stage. When the limbs are destroyed and only the torso remains, he loses all of his previous attacks and gains 2 new ones. The first being an attack very similar to the body slam, but he does it 3 times, with each hit dealing 10 HP damage. As with the body slam, you need to dodge roll a bit before he hits if you want to keep your HP. The last attack in his repertoire is where Guard Armor glides around, chasing you. He's much faster than you, so if you try to outrun him, he will catch you, and you'll lose 8 HP. To escape from the spinning Guard Armor, you want to find the nearest wall and hug it. The boss's collision box is too big, and doesn't allow for him to get close enough to the wall to hit you. These last 2 attacks you can't distinguish by the cue, as he does the exact same thing for both attacks. You need to be ready for either one if you don't decide to break the card. It should be mentioned that in the first stage the attacks are tied to the remaining limbs, so if you destroy both Guard Armor's hands, he can't do the swing or boxing attack. If you destroy his feet, he can't stomp after you. Only destroying one hand or foot won't prevent the attack from being used though. All of his attacks are pretty easy to dodge, except for the boxing move, because it can be used without warning if he breaks one of your cards. To prevent this, I would recommend that you take out both hands first, so you don't have to worry about that. If you still have the potion equipped from the start of the game, you should save it for the last stage where he uses the jumping attack that can take out 30 HP if you get hit by all the jumps. 30 HP is more than a third of your total HP if you haven't upgraded HP, so you want to finish this phase as fast as possible. On a slightly related note, you don't ever want to start a slide with your cure card, as you'll lose it. The optimal thing to do is just not to put the cure in a slide at all. The card has a value of 6, and the highest card guard armor can play is a 5, so there's no risk of him breaking your card. In this fight, you should keep the use of slides to a minimum, as at this point in the game, you don't have that many cards to play around with. If you do feel the need to unleash your slide, at least pick a small valued card, or a friend card, to start the slide, so you don't lose the important high valued cards. When creating a slide, keep in mind that you only need to get a total value of 6 to be certain the attack goes through. If you have a goofy card with a value of 6 or above, just play it, as it does a lot more damage than the Goofy Smash slide. I recommend that you refrain from using slides in the first stage of the battle, unless you of course get a friend card. When the second stage rolls around, guard armor attacks less frequently and you should just spam your attack cards. If you play something greater than the current card you're on, just quickly create a slide and use it. When all the attack cards are used up, use the potion you hopefully saved to rapidly regain your cards. After using all the attack cards one more time, guard armor should be down for the count. Doing it this way will make the second stage only take about 20 seconds. Now we've come to the cheesing part of this video, that is all about doing as little work as possible to defeat guard armor. As we're pretty early in the game, we don't have too many options at our hands. Actually, only one. This strategy involves the gimmick card that makes guard armor fall down into a pile for some time. The gimmick cards appear naturally after some time, but you also have a decent chance of spawning one whenever you break the boss's card. Position yourself a bit away from guard armor so he doesn't swing or box at you, and then just break his cards until a gimmick card appears. Try to match the cards perfectly, so if he plays a 4, you do too. There are 2 reasons for this. One is to make sure you only use the necessary value card, and the other is that if you match the card, you won't do an attack yourself, and thus you don't have to reposition Sora. It shouldn't take too long to get a gimmick card, as the spawn rates are pretty good. As you can see, it's very easy to get a gimmick card this way, and you're completely out of harm's way. You can't stock up on gimmick cards, so whenever you get one, just use it straight away. That's all I have for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.